We get a hug from the hills, the rocks of Portland, the Ridgeway, all its beauty, and then of course further on down to the east, the White Nothe. One of the Psalms, 121, speaks about these hills. They'll be here long after you and I have gone. They're a symbol of God's permanence and love. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help comes from the Lord, the Maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot stumble. He who watches over you will not sleep. Behold, he who keeps watch over Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord himself watches over you. This hill is well constructed. First, a gentle gradient. Then the next section becomes steeper, and the final section to Margaret's seat steeper still. Margaret's seat beckons in the background, and this is like a parabolic reflector. You can hear the noise of those who are showing off new exhaust pipe noises with their fancy new cars. You can hear people chatting in their garden. You can hear Mother Nature and her chorus. This is quite a motorway for deer. Unlike the hooves of sheep, their toes come together to give them extra grip rather than split apart. And they're imprints of lots of dogs as well. A kind of motorway for all of us, humans, animals, and the breath of the fresh air. And so to Margaret's seat. I come up here because we're exiting what's been known as Lockdown 2, although we're far from locked down. In the background is a helicopter, probably searching the coast. Always got rather mixed moods about those machines. They're very clever, built at Westlands over at Yeovilton, but they're keeping migrants out. I'm a migrant. I was kicked out of Sudan when the country was in civil war. My father was born abroad. I was born abroad. Realistically, I probably wouldn't be allowed into this country now. Obama has spoken about taking the long view, that we need to learn to share this world. After all, it's the only one we have. The rich exclude the poor, and so it goes on. And he sees it in terms of swings and roundabouts. There's much to be said about that. The Old Testament tells the story about warring tribespeople squabbling at great cost over the same land, and eventually understanding that if they were to share, and Jerusalem, the place of peace, Salem, the ancient word for peace, if they were to share, they would be such a light for others, a light that lightens the world. It went to their heads a little bit, and Jerusalem is far from how it was designed, but the intention was to share this beautiful world, to understand that the earth is the Lord's and everything that's in it belong to him. We're custodians after all. We bring nothing in, we take nothing out. We're here for a short time to rejoice in what God has given. So as we come out of lockdown into this different Christmas, the hills are going to be permanent. They give us a kind of marker, a datum. So does the story of God's love. Justice and mercy are mentioned very frequently in the Old Testament, some of its understanding quite primitive, but it has a great deal to teach us. May we learn to share more. Amen.